Let's dive into the full narrated chapter of One Piece 1126. Don't go anywhere. We'll be starting right after the intro. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Before we jump into the content of this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Now let's get into the video. Title: Settlement. Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Vol. 14. Heard in a soba shop that young girls from Kuri are missing. Pages 2 and 3. Opening note: the Giants tell a story. Kashi and Oimo tell the Straw Hats that after their separation at Water 7, they went to Little Garden to check on their chiefs. Luffy says, well, it's been going on for 100 years, so of course you'd want to know about it. Oimo and Kashi explain that when they arrived, their chiefs, without weapons, were fighting each other with just their fists. Brogy says, Gabababa. Luffy says, Shh. Why? Dory then responds, Gegyagyagya. For some reason, the weapon broke. A giant says, do you really think one of these two strong guys will die just from a fist fight? Since the fight would only be decided by death, Kashi and Oimo stopped them and went back to Elbaf to get new weapons. Nami then asks, so you went back to get weapons, which means you're going to continue the fight? Of course! Crazy! Usopp says, hey Nami, haven't you learned anything from Little Garden? That's right, tell her, Usopp. Sanji, who is celebrating a lot, then says, this sake is pretty strong. Another giant says, this is absinthe, a sake also known as the Green Fairy. It can cause hallucinations. Be careful, Jagaga. Page 4. The party and celebrations continue full swing on the ship. Note, Luffy is striking a Nika pose but holding a piece of meat while Brook sings for the giants. Usopp and Sanji are hugging and celebrating. We see Bonnie, who is in her normal child form. She's in Kuma's lap. Bonnie says, we finally saw it together. The horizon. Kuma has a smile on his face. Then we see a scene of the giant ship in the middle of the sea, with a beautiful sunset in the background on the horizon. Page 5. The scene shifts completely. The narrator says, more than a month ago, here on Garter Island in the New World, an incident occurred. The pirate, Bartolomeo the Cannibal, in one of the territories of the Emperor, red-haired Shanks, burned his hoisted pirate flag in the town and stained the Emperor's honor. We see the entire scene that led up to the cover of Barto burning Shanks' flag. We then see Shanks talking to Barto, who is badly beaten and kneeling in front of him. Shanks says that if he forgives him, the islands and other pirates to whom they've lent their flags will lose trust in them and endanger his friends. Barto, with his face on the ground, says, you are completely right. Page 6. Barto is apologizing to Shanks. He says he did something bad to the town without thinking. Hongo then says, this is a fatal poison. Make Straw Hat Luffy drink this within 1 month. With intense pain, he will bleed out and die. Hongo continues, you must take responsibility for your parent. Note, Oyabun equals father, Kobun equals children, subordinates. So it's a Yakuza term for Sakazuki, sake cup exchange. This is what they did at the end of the Dressrosa arc. Page 7. As soon as he gets the poison in his mouth, Barto drinks it. Gambia and the others. Wah, boss! Please stop! You're gonna die! You're gonna bleed out and die! Barto then says with tears in his eyes, this is the best thing to do. Exchanging sake cups and bearing Luffy-senpai's flag, we did all of that on our own. That's why Luffy-senpai is not involved in this, and I want you to keep this matter quiet, because I don't want to waste even 1 second of Luffy-senpai's precious time because of someone like me. This story will simply be remembered as delinquents challenging a Yonko on their own and getting killed in return. Nothing more. Page 8. Barto says, I even wanted to see the moment Luffy-senpai became the Pirate King. Because I'm an idiot, I messed everything up. Damn it. Please take care of my crew after this. Gambia says, boss. Farewell, my crew. But then he realizes he's been freed. Whoa, they let us go. Let's go, let's go. Let's get out of here. So if that wasn't poison to begin with, then they weren't trying to kill Luffy-senpai in the first place. I thought he would be a scary guy, being an emperor and all, but he's unexpectedly kind. Page 9, Beckman then says, what are you smiling about, Chief? Shanks then says, well, I'm just happy to think that Luffy is so important. Yasop then says, hey, please step aside. A transgression is a transgression. Yasop aims at Bartolomeo's ship, and it explodes. Narrator says, in the open sea near the shores of Garter Island, Bartolomeo's crew and ship sink into the sea. Their fates are now unknown. Page 10, the scene changes. Caption, Pirate Island Hachinosu, New World. We see the Hachinosu skull covered with bandages. Teach is back on the island and arguing intensely with Avalo Pizarro. Teach says, what the hell happened here while I was away, Pizarro? Pizarro says, well, about that, Chief. Teach says, did you hear me correctly? The world is finally starting to move. The poneglyphs are no longer just common knowledge in the underworld. In other words, it's going to be a stone contest among my fellow emperors. The government and the Marines will also get involved. They're not just going to ignore us and let things happen our way. That's where our trump card, Kobe, becomes necessary. And you let him escape? Pizarro says, I'm sorry, Teach. Please hear me out. First, they released Moria. Page 11. Teach angrily says, you let Moria escape too? Wolf, trying to rebuild the island with a piece of a building in his hand, says, where was that shop again? Pirates shout, a little more to the left. You're destroying buildings with your butt. Pirates say, Commodore, we are always prepared at any moment. Whoever is going to obtain the One Piece will surely be you, Blackbeard. Please show us how you will conquer the world. Page 1213. Teach says, Zahaha, the morale is rising. We must use this to our advantage. So let me hear it once more, Kuzan. Kobe got away, but... Kuzan says, yes, but we captured Garp. Teach happily says, Zahahaha, this is even better. Pizarro then says, see, Teach? The value just went up. Kuzan says, to be exact, I intended to kill him, but he survived. We see Garp chained up. This is an astounding feat, Kuzan. Who else could have taken him down? Kuzan then says, no, we barely took him down, even with all of us ganging up. Burgess says, the winds are in our favor. We ha ha ha. Teach says, we also got our hands on the three-eyed girl. Hey, contact Lafitte now. Page 14. Headquarters of Umit Shipping. Lafitte answers, yes, Commodore. Teach says, what's happening with the Revolutionary Army? Lafitte says that the Revolutionary Army's famine tactics are serious. With the continuous breakdown of the bandolas on the Red Line, especially during food transport, it won't work 100%. In addition to the sabotage of food supplies coming from other nations, and even with the food that the Marines managed to secure, it won't mean anything when the bandolas are broken down. Lafitte continues, it would be completely unprecedented in history if there were celestial dragons dying of starvation. It's quite interesting. Teach says, Zahaha! Stop having your fun and start the preparations. Lafitte says, foo. But of course, page 15, then we see another of Blackbeard's ships arriving. Devon, stop making noise. So, did you bring the person in question? Pizarro grabs the ship with his hand. Caribou, terrified, says, Big brother, big sister, please do something. Augur responding to Pizarro, yes. Page 16, then we go back to the giant's ship. They're in shock. Brogy says, how could this happen? Dory says, I drank too much, went to sleep, and when I woke up... Brooke says, the Sunny is gone. It's nowhere to be found. The giants say, we definitely need to find it. We can't return to Elbaf like this. Robin says, could it have been eaten by a fish? Frankie says, well, I can't deny that possibility since the fish around here are enormous, but please stop. Seeing the ship from afar, everyone shouts, where are you, Luffy? Page 17. On the last page of the chapter, Nami hears someone telling her to wake up. Maybe it's Luffy, but we can't see this person in this chapter. Mysterious person says, Nami, hey, wake up. Nami says, Argh. Holding her head, Nami says, Ugh, I think I drank too much. When Nami wakes up, she finds herself alone in a huge room made of Lego pieces. She's wearing a Viking warrior outfit, kind of like an RPG warrior, maybe an Elbaf costume, and she's carrying a sword on her back. Nami says, Ha! Editor's note, what place is this? A new adventure awaits. End of the chapter. No break next week. And that's it. That was the full narrated chapter of One Piece 1126. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. See you next time, and thanks.